Yeah, this is the last story. I just want to cap it off. Linus.
Linus, yeah. Everything's back.
Everything's back. He made a video.
Everything's back.
He was naked.
YouTube had it. YouTube backed it up. They always do.
Yeah.
YouTube's got everything. You think it's deleted when it's deleted? It ain't deleted. Yeah. Particularly for a channel like Linus Tech Tips. That thing's still there. Mm-hmm. You kidding? He knew he was getting it back.
Yeah.
So he made the hacked video. He'll get a quick milli on that. He's all good.
He was naked, though.
That's kind of funny. Well, they had to... I like that. This is what I like about this. It's very internet. Like, he came with a reaction, a response quickly. Like, rapidly.
But he looks tired, dude.
He does look tired. He went through some stuff, but he still said, guys, you know what? Let's flip this upside down. And let's have some fun with this. Because he had to film his naked clips, right?
Yeah.
So, can you play some of it for me? Yeah, play a little bit for me.
For a front row seat to my life's work vanishing before my eyes. Linus Tech Tips, deleted. Tech Linked, toasted. Tech Quickie, gone. The good news is that if you're watching this, we're back online.
Oh, look, see, D-Brand makes moves quickly, too. You just call up D-Brand.
Commonplace on YouTube that when we sat down to prepare this video, it took us less than 10 seconds to find a huge channel that was dealing with exactly the same thing in that moment. Let's talk then about the motive for these attacks, the process changes that we and YouTube need to make, and how we can all work together as a community to educate and protect each other from bad actors. Oh, and to tell you about our sponsor, D-Brand. Oh, God. King Elon Musk discussing cryptocurrency.
Did you just skip the sponsor, D-Brand?
This in and of itself is not a scam, but the stream's linked to a scam website that claimed that for every 1 Bitcoin you sent, it would return double.
I know this scam. Everybody knows this scam.
Fake transaction records showing other users definitely getting huge payouts. Over the next couple of hours then, we sparred back and forth. First, I privated the streams, revoked the channel stream key, and attempted to reset the account credentials.
While he's naked.
Realized, as I was investigating the source of the breach, that I had been completely outmaneuvered. They were back in, and the streams were live again. Okay, so I log back in, nuke the stream again, and I go to, and they're up again. And now videos are being mass deleted from the channel. Over the next couple of hours, playing login whack-a-mole, the Linus Tech Tips, Tech Linked, and Tech Quickie accounts were each used to host these Elon Musk crypto streams until they were ultimately nuked by YouTube altogether for violating
It's always got to be Elon Musk.
And I can almost feel your thoughts through the screen right now.
Linus, truly, after all these lectures about two-factor authentication, don't you even protect your own accounts?
So he actually explains how it happens.
While strong passwords and multi-factor authentication are very powerful security measures that you should use, they're not impenetrable. First up, let's talk 2FA. Not all factors or additional authentication elements are equally secure. The most common second factor, SMS, can be compromised by simple social engineering targeted at your phone carrier. Check out this video that we posted the last time our
That's why Twitter got rid of
information about that.
Phone.
Another common factor, notification-based multi-factor, is susceptible to fatigue attacks, where a perpetrator will constantly try to log in, hoping that you'll assume, oh, it's probably someone from work, or even just click on the notification by accident. It's very problematic. And I'm looking at you, Google, since you can't disable this factor on Google accounts. Even time-based two-factor, like Google Authenticator or Authy, can be compromised, say if you were to accidentally set it up or access it from an infected device. In spite of all of these issues with two-factor, though, it held the line last night. Our attacker not only never gained access to our additional authentication factors, they never even had our passwords. But how can that be? Well, as it turns out, they didn't need any of that, which is a big part of why it took me so long to clue in and stop the spread. I was so focused on the potential damage that could be done by someone who had commandeered my SMS messages or gained access to my Google Authenticator somehow that I expended valuable time battening down the wrong hatches. If I had watched Theo Joe's recent video on the subject, or at least skimmed the comments, I could have probably stopped the bleeding in a matter of minutes. Shout out Theo Joe. But I didn't, so I got to be educated the hard way about a breed of attacks that bypass trivial things like passwords and 2FA entirely by targeting what's known as a session token. Now, many of you will know this already, and if you do, give yourself a cookie. But after you log into a website and your credentials have been validated, that site will provide your web browser with a session token. This allows your browser, and by extension you, to stay logged in when you restart your browser and go to access that site again.
So basically, he had someone on his team get some sort of like, compromise with like a file, and then they were able to, the hackers were able to take pretty much like a screenshot of the website, whatever they're on, that's authenticated, and then move it over to their computer.
Yeah. So this is obviously one of the consequences of having it also just like an enormous group of people with a limited number of logins.
Yeah.
You have like 6 channels, you got like 50, 60 people all working on them. If you have one person infected that's running a session, death. It's just more entry points, essentially, as there's more people that have access. But you know what? No matter what you do, there's always, as long as there's incentives, there's people working to do things like this. And I mean, you even heard them going on and on about two-stage and this and that, and trying and actually actively targeting, like actively leaning into that and looking for that and assuming that's where the compromise took place. Even with all that, there's other ways and other ways and other ways. And social engineering, which is like surprisingly effective, which is just a more sophisticated way of give me your password. Okay, let me just go back and let me find out exactly how he patched it up or fixed it or kicked them out. I mean, I guess once their session expired.
For every logged in website.
Oh, yeah. He had to revoke access.
Gets you into the vault. Now, in a perfect world, these smaller doors should have been restricted with less access than we configured, but
yeah, there you go.
Hindsight is 2020, or at least I hope it is. The bottom line is that our disaster response processes need to improve because I realized at 3 whatever in the morning, shout out Steve from Gamers Nexus for the wake up call, by the way, that I actually didn't know how to reset the passwords and the access control across all of these channels in Channel Manager. And that is not the sort of thing that you want to be troubleshooting buck naked in the wee hours of the morning in the middle of a crisis. In fairness to me, the way that Google handles the intermingling of all their services is not the most intuitive, and both Yvonne and I experienced numerous glitches and timeouts that prevented us from effectively using these tools even once we did figure out how to use them, which leads us nicely then into the next part of our discussion. I've owned what I did wrong, and now it's time to talk about Google. To their credit, I heard back that someone was...
Basically, they were having a back and forth. And
urgent. Look at that subject line. You're dead. You see that subject line? Urgent. Channel hacked. Everything gone.
This... Yeah. How do you...
Yeah.
You're dead. You're the YouTube rep. You're like, uh-oh. Middle of the night, too. What time was it sent at? Does it say 3:30 a.m.? Yeah. Urgent. They're like sleeping.
He did say that this YouTube assistant helped
quickly
and was really, pretty quick.
That's good.
So,
well, shout out to them. I was curious because it did seem like it was down for a while. It was down for pretty much a whole day. Oh, baby. He noted that the hack could have been easily avoided if the team had better processes in place and that it took longer than it should have to fix things because of how roles are dished out for his channels. The bottom line is our disaster response processes need to improve because I realized at 3 whatever in the morning that I didn't know how to reset the passwords to access controls across the channels. Yeah. It's all distributed. You have different accounts with different privileges and... I'm happy that they got things sorted out. Some people in the chat are saying, oh, well, if you were just a small-time YouTuber, you would not have got this response from YouTube and your stuff would remain hacked and Elon would still be there on some kind of a live stream crypto fundraiser.
Yeah, Linus was critical about that.
Of course, that's the case. Of course that's what it would be. There's no way for all these things popping up. There's no way they got a priority sequence. Yeah,
Sure.
I highly imagine that's the case. But the whole thing's so ugly. I just wish I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to find a way to shut it down completely. It's like one of those things. If people want it bad enough, they seem to figure it out, and it's a constant cat and mouse situation.
Mm-hmm. But he's back.
He's back. Linus is back. Shout out Linus. Onward and upward.